everyone. My name is Kelly Edwards, and today's yoga class is going to be a 45-minute gentle yoga. So, we're going to be working on today opening up the front of the body. This is for those of us who maybe have been working a little bit more during this time at our desks, hunching over, or even just needing to be connected in with the news. Maybe we're watching more TV or we're on our mobile phones more often. So we're going to be working on opening up the chest, getting the head and neck back in space, and working on opening up the hips and the quads. So for today's class, you will need 2 blocks and a strap. If you don't have blocks, you can use books instead. And if you don't have a strap, you can use a towel, scarf, or belt. And then we'll be doing some low lunges and kneeling work. So if you would like a blanket to cushion yourself there as well, you can grab that. All right, so we are going to begin in an easy seated pose. So your block can go underneath your bottom if you would like, or your blanket can be there as well. And this is just in case when we sit, our hips or our knees come up in line with our hips or higher. We want to sit ourselves up on something so that we can let this area release. And again, this space right here might be very tight from our lifestyle change that we've had. So prop up if it's needed. Roll your shoulders a few times to get yourself settled and into your body. Keep the shoulders down away from your ears. Lift the crown of your head and softly close your eyes. Just enjoy these first few moments here, welcoming yourself to your mat and to your practice. Just checking in with how you're feeling. Notice what it is you're thinking about. What feelings have you had throughout the morning or the day? And physically, how are you feeling as well? And now we're searching through and scanning the body so that we can meet ourselves where we are today in the now. So what areas feel tense? And already can you bring your attention there and try to soften those spaces? Maybe these are the spaces that we choose to go easier into. And then notice what feels good and free already. And these are the spaces where the breath can move to and through easily. And maybe these are the spaces that we can push ourselves a little more in our practice. So we're checking in with ourselves to see how we should form our practice today, when we should be gentle, when we can challenge ourselves. And try to move your practice from the head into the heart. So don't think too much about what it should look like, but instead focus on how it should feel. And it should feel good. Take a nice deep breath in. And a slow breath out. A deep breath in. And a slow breath out. Now create your intention for your practice today. What made you want to get on your mat? What made you want to move? Maybe you're here to heal something. Create your intention and take the next 2 breaths to really let it sink in. And gently blink your eyes open. If you're called to roll your shoulders, you can do that. Or if you want to drop your chin and move through your neck, you may as well. And then returning to just a nice upright position. Go ahead and remove any props that you have from underneath you. And we'll extend our right leg open to the side, so in a half straddle. Make sure your knees and your toes are pointing up to the sky. And your right hand is just gently going to rest on your right leg. As you inhale, reach your left arm up to the sky. And then exhale, bend the elbow, place your hand behind your head. Now we're creating a little bit of like an elbow wing here. So I want you to press that wing back behind you to feel the stretch more in your chest. Take an inhalation here. And as you exhale, lean towards the right foot and stretch the left side, pointing that left elbow up. Inhale, return to upright. And exhale, lean and point left elbow up. Let's do 2 more here. Good. Rise up. Inhale, reach that left arm straight. And as you exhale, drop the hand behind your hip and take a twist. So your right hand can go to your knee. Sitting up nice and tall. And next exhale, twist a little bit deeper. Release the twist and turn your upper body to face over that right leg once again. One hand on either side of the right leg. Take an inhale, sit up nice and tall. And as you exhale, drop the heart and fold forward. Hands can walk out towards that right foot. It's not necessary to get the foot. Instead, we're just enjoying that stretch in the back space of the body. You can let your chin drop to point down towards the knee. Let your heart get a little bit heavier. And take 2 more breaths here. And slowly walk your hands back, sitting up nice and tall. And we'll switch to the other side. So left leg will open out. Right foot comes to the inner thigh. Sitting up nice and tall, left hand resting on the left leg. As you inhale, right arm reaches up, stretch the side body. And exhale, bend the right elbow, hand behind your head. Press that elbow wing back, opening up the chest. Take an inhalation here. And as you exhale, lean down the left leg and point that right elbow up to the sky. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, lean to the left. 2 more with your breath. And inhale, rising up, reach through that right arm. And exhale, drop the hand behind you, taking it into a twist. Your left hand can come to the knee, still reaching up through the crown of the head, and looking over the right shoulder. Next exhale, slowly release and turn your upper body back over the left leg. Gently flex through the toes. Inhale, lift up through the crown. And as you exhale, fold over that left leg. Again, chin can point down. Let your heart get heavier. Two more breaths. Slowly start to walk your hands back, sitting yourself up nice and tall, and release. All right, we are going to come around to tabletop pose, hands and knees. So wrists will be underneath your shoulders, knees underneath the hips. With our kneeling position here, if you need, go ahead and take your blanket and place it underneath the knees for extra cushion here. Okay. I'm going to do that for myself today. When you're set up, start to move with your breath, cat and cow. So as you inhale, dropping heart, lifting chin and tail. And then exhale, pressing the earth away. Round yourself up. Inhaling, cow pose. Exhaling, cat. Good. Let's take 3 more breaths here. Make sure you're moving with your breath, so don't shorten your breath to match the length of your movement. Instead, slow your movement down to match your breath. Feels so good. Let's do 1 more. Come back to a neutral spine. Walk your knees together, bring your feet together, and then tuck your toes under. Sit your hips back onto your heels. Now we're feeling a nice stretch through the soles of the feet. Just reach back and untuck your pinky toes because they like to hide, and we want the toes to be spreading deeply here. So this one is called broken toe pose, but I call it happy toe pose because I like to be positive. Your hands, if you want to go deeper, your hands can walk back onto your thighs. And you can sit your shoulders up over your hips now. So more weight into the opening of the soles of the feet. Now we have a posterior chain in the back body, and that goes from the skull all the way to the sole of the foot. And opening up the muscles on the soles of the feet can help to open up the rest of the back body. So I know that this is so difficult. Try to smile here and make sure you're still breathing, and just remind yourself of all the good that you're doing for yourself and your body. Let's take 3 more breaths here. Now I know you're going to want to rush out of this pose. Please try to take it slow. Hands walking down your lap. Back out onto the mat. Lifting the hips away from the heels. Now very slowly and lightly untuck your toes and gently tap the tops of the feet to the mat. You want to go slow with this because the toes may cramp after that stretch, so make sure that doesn't happen. Another thing I like to do after that one is to reach my right foot back. The foot is on the ground, and I can press back and forth in the heel a few times. And do that to the other side. All right, back to tabletop. Again, knees and feet come together. This time toes are untucked, and sit your hips back towards your heels for a small child's pose. Hands can reach out in front of you, or you can bring the hands back to reach towards the feet, and then the forehead can be on your mat. Take 2 more breaths here. Now on your next inhale, start to stand up onto the knees, kneeling, and reach the arms up to the sky. Stretch the body. As you exhale, sweep the arms down, sit your hips back, and return to your child's pose. Inhale, rising up, kneeling, and reach. And exhale, bring yourself back down. 1 more. Good. Extend the arms out in front of you. Rise back up to tabletop pose, hands and knees. Now walk your knees back from your hips so that you're in a kneeling plank. Tuck your tailbone, pull your navel and ribs in, look forward, And on your next exhale, bend the elbows back and lower your chest and tummy down for prone position, so on your stomachs. Right arm is going to reach out to the right side. Left hand goes underneath your left shoulder. I'm going to bend my left knee and slowly roll onto my right shoulder, right chest, and my left foot can come behind my right leg as a stopping point. Bring your head down to the earth or a block and keep thinking of crawling your right fingers away from your body. Take 2 more breaths here. And slowly roll back on to your tummies. Left leg is extended down. Left arm's going to reach out to the left side. Right hand's going to come underneath the shoulder. You'll bend the right knee and slowly press onto your left side. Right foot steps behind the left leg, and again I'm crawling my left fingers away from me. Slowly roll back onto your tummy. Left hand can come back underneath the shoulders. Slowly press yourself up to tabletop. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Take a moment here to check in with yourself. Notice how you're feeling. And maybe you would like some more rest. You can sit back into a child's pose. If you're feeling good, you can rise all the way up to downward facing dog. So maybe this is your first down dog of the day or your first down dog in a while. So you can keep your knees bent deeper than maybe you usually would. And the feet can walk out to the edges of the mat. Take 3 more breaths here to walk your dog, pedaling the knees, swaying through your hips. Inhale, looking towards your hands. And as you exhale, fold yourself up so feet can walk forward, hands can walk back, bringing your chest towards your thighs. Again, keep your knees softer here. As you inhale, halfway lift, pull the heart forward, and exhale to fold. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhaling halfway. Exhale, release. And inhale halfway. Exhale, let go. This inhale, rise all the way up to stand. Reach through the arms. And exhale, mountain pose. Good. Go ahead and grab your strap or towel or scarf, whatever you have. We're going to do some shoulder floss work here. So with this one, we want a nice long strap. And we're going to hold the hands out wide from one another, so wider than shoulder distance. We'll be moving the arms up overhead and dropping back behind us. So when we're again sitting on our devices, we get this hunched position. So with the shoulders going up and back, we're moving the chest open and into the back body once again. So this might feel like quite a stretch. And if you need to, just keep the arms lifted higher towards the shoulders. So the more that we bring the arms down towards the hips, the more work the shoulders have to do. So this can be quite intense. Another thing here, you want to make sure as you're coming up and over that your elbows aren't bending and you're not doing any kind of funky dance move to bring the strap down to the hips. So we want nice straight arms, and a wider grip will allow you to do that easier. Okay, so we're going to do a few rounds of this. Make sure that your position, your stance is proper, so the feet are about inner hips distance. The knees are not locking out. The core is engaged. The shoulders will stay away from the ears. Okay. When you're ready, as you inhale, the arms will reach up. And exhale, arms drop back behind you to whatever depth. Make it work for you. Inhale, arms reaching up. And exhale, coming forward and down. Good. Just keep moving here with your breath. And if things start to feel too easy, you can walk the hands closer together. But again, make sure that everything else stays the same. So I'm not bending my elbows, even if the hands are coming closer. Let's do 2 more. Hurts so good, right? But again, these are just moments of checking in. So we're not trying to force ourselves into this. We're noticing how things feel as we move. You can go ahead and end. Release your strap off to the side. And if you need to roll your shoulders around, you can, or take your hands to your shoulder heads and you can squeeze and massage a few times. That might feel good as well. All right, so we're going into our flow. We'll be doing some low lunges. So again, your blanket can be there in the middle of the mat, and then have your blocks at the top. And I'm using some of the new props that we've got for you guys. So when we get back into class, this is what you're going to be using. It's so fun, so exciting. Let's stand at the top. Mountain pose. Being specific about your alignment here. Knees soft, toning the belly, shoulders up, back, and down. Next inhalation, arms will lift to the sky. And as you exhale, forward fold. Inhaling, halfway lift. And exhale, left foot will go back, left knee comes down. Low lunge. Keep your hands on your blocks to begin. And to just get reacquainted with the shape, you can be lunging deeply into the right knee, letting the hips fall, and then pulling your hips back a little bit to ease up. So again, maybe this is the first time you're doing yoga in a while. So give yourself time, give your body a chance to get used to it again. And if there comes a point where you're willing to get still and let your hips drop forward, keep toning your belly. Hands can stay on blocks or travel up to the waist or even reach up to the sky. And let's enjoy 2 more breaths here. Next exhale, hands will come down, finding the blocks. Bring your right hand inside of the right foot and walk your right foot out to the edge of the mat, turning your toes out as well for lizard. So with this one, it might feel good to extend your left knee back a little bit more to let the hips sink deeper. Again, you can stay up on the blocks or start to bring forearms down, and the lower you go with your heart here, the more that you will feel. A deep hip opener. Lots of sensations here, so bring your attention back to your breath. Soften your jaw, because if the jaw is clenching, we tighten the hips. Those 2 spaces speak to one another. So if we can relax the jaw, the hips can soften too. Very good. Start to walk yourself back up. Move your hips back in space until it feels easy to swing that right knee back and around, returning to your tabletop. Hands find the earth, maybe moving a few rounds cat and cow with your breath, or you can shake your hips, wiggle your hips from side to side. Again, a moment to check in. Maybe it will feel good to go back into child's pose or rise up into dog. Let's take 4 breaths wherever you're choosing to move. On your next inhale, looking towards the top of the mat. And as you exhale, fold yourself up. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, rise up, reach to the sky, stretch. And exhale, mountain pose. All right. At the top of the mat, reset your blocks, going into the second side. Again, being very particular about your mountain alignment. How we set up our mountain is what we transition with. So good alignment here will be good alignment in the rest of our practice. Next inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling halfway. And exhale, right foot back, right knee comes down. Low lunge. Again, taking some time, moving the body, maybe in and out of that front knee a few times. And just very lovingly check in and see how this side compares to the first. Maybe this is a side that needs easier, needs a little gentle touch. When you're willing to get still, let the hips sink towards that left heel, and then choose where you would like to go with your hands. Keep toning your belly up and in. 2 more breaths. Exhaling, your hands will come down. Bring your left hand inside of the left foot and walk that left foot out to the edge of the mat. Again, turning your toes out. So where your knee is bending is where your toes should be pointing. Maybe you feel the urge to walk your right knee back some more. Find your depth here. Again, not forcing anything, not pushing. Make this work for you and how you feel in this moment. Maybe dropping the heart to go deeper. Soften your jaw. You can even sway your hips a little from side to side for movement. 3 more breaths here. And then coming up, walking the hands to the higher level of the blocks, moving your hips back until it feels easy to bring that left knee around for tabletop pose. Couple of breaths to move here and check in. Couple rounds of cat and cow or rocking your hips. And then choosing for the next 5 breaths to either rest in child's pose or come up into downward facing dog. So again, 5 breaths wherever you're moving to. One more breath. Inhaling, looking forward. And exhale, folding up, feet stepping forward, or hands can walk back. Make the transition work for you. Inhaling halfway. Exhale to fold. Inhale, rise up, reach to the sky. And exhale, mountain. All right, going through that once more on each side, adding a couple of things. So if you want to just stay with that initial flow we just went through, cool, just stay there. Do what works for you. Find your mountain pose. Blocks are there for you. Set yourself up properly in alignment. Next, inhale, arms lifting up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling halfway. And exhale, left foot will go back. Knee comes down for low lunge. Again, your hands can stay on the blocks. Maybe a little bit of movement here. Or drop into your stillness, into your depth, and choose where you'd like to go with your arms. Keep toning the belly up and in. If arms are reaching, shoulders stay away from your ears. Next exhale, left hand will come down to the block or the earth. And inhale, right arm will twist you open, reaching up to the sky. Hand can go on the waist if this is too much for the shoulder. Hold for 1 more breath. Next exhale, right hand will come down inside of the right foot once again. And we're going to walk the right foot out and open for lizard. Toes turning out, hips really sink and drop. Knee is following second toe. And choose where you would like to go here. How far down? Really deep in the hips. Hips are where we store a lot of our emotional trauma. So if this is feeling quite intense for you, more than it usually does, it's because of the time that we're in. So we're in a very traumatic time. We're in a very emotional time. And we're going to hold that in our hips. So give yourself a little bit of grace. Your body is not trying to be mean or create an obstacle for you. Instead, it's giving you feedback. It's letting you know how you're handling things. So soften your jaw. Breathe deeply into that right hip. Breathe deeply into that left quad. And slowly start to make your way up. Hips move back in space until it's easy to bring that right knee around. That might have been a lot to come out of. So any way that the body is sort of craving to move, honor that. Swaying through the hips, cat and cow, child's pose. And when you're ready, rising up to downward facing dog. Let's enjoy 3 breaths here. Inhaling, looking forward. And exhale, fold yourself up. Inhaling halfway. Exhale, release. Inhale, rise up, reach to the sky, stretch. And exhale, mountain pose. All right, back at the top of the mat. Again, your blocks can be there. Reset. Find your mountain. Last time through. Next inhale, arms extend. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling, halfway lift. And exhale, right foot goes back. Knee down, low lunge. Hands can stay on blocks. Feel free to continue moving here or dropping into stillness. And arms can reach up to the sky. Toning the belly, shoulders away from ears. 2 more breaths here. Next exhale, right hand comes down to blocker earth. And inhale, left arm is going to reach up and open the heart into a twist. Again, hand can be on the waist if this is too much in the shoulder. Try to see how much space you can get between the hands. And exhale, left hand comes down inside of that left foot. Walk the foot out to the edge of the mat. Turn the toes out, maybe walking the right knee back to sink deeper here. And you can use the block to bring the earth up to you. And forearms can go down. Staying here for a little bit longer this time. Again, just reminding ourselves that it's not us that's really feeling this way. It's our environment. It's this new lifestyle that we're in that is causing the tension. The shape is just showing us the tension. Just a couple more deep breaths here. Let's take 2 more. And you can start to lift the heart up. Hips move back in space until it feels easy to swing that left knee back and around. Oh, lots of stuff that I'm feeling. Hopefully you are too. All good things. Swaying the hips. And go ahead and sit back in a child's pose. Hands can reach out in front of you. Maybe even crawling the hands extra away from the shoulders to feel the undersides of the arms stretching. And then you can walk your hands over to the right or over to the left and really crawl your right fingers away. And walk all the way over to the right and crawl your left fingers away. And come back to center. And then sit yourself up. Take the legs out from underneath you, and we'll come to an easy seated pose once again. All right, so we're going to get into the neck and the wrists a bit before we end. Again, this class is geared towards getting us out of that hunch. So if we're at our desk and we're typing a lot throughout the day, the wrists are taking a lot of the work, and they're little guys that can't really handle all of that. So what we're going to do is stretch the fingers to help stretch into the wrists, which will help to open up the elbow and the shoulder here as well. So I'm going to have my left elbow close into my side body. I'm going to let my left hand open and the fingers point down towards the earth. My right hand, I'm going to take underneath my left hand and grab hold of my thumb. Now I'm going to pull down and back on my thumb to start feeling a stretch through the palm. Most important step as we go through this is to spread the rest of your fingers. So I'm not keeping my fingers close, I'm reaching them away. And what that does is it stretches more through the palm of the hand, which gives more benefits to the wrist stretching. Okay? So thumb pulling back, four fingers spreading. And if you want to go further, you can extend the arm out as well, which gives you a little bit more room to pull back and stretch. Make sure your shoulders are staying away from your ears still. Go ahead and release. We'll do that with the index finger, pulling finger back, stretch through the other four fingers, and then extend the arm straight. And release, middle finger. And release, ring finger, pull back, stretch the other four fingers away. And release, and pinky. Go a little bit easier with this guy. He's tiny, doesn't need as much work. Spread the other four fingers. And release. Shake out the hands. Roll out the wrists. And let your hands sit on your lap somewhere and just notice the differences that you feel from left to right side. So for me, this left side feels like it can just float to the sky, and this right one feels very heavy, like concrete. So let's even it out. Same thing on this right side. Elbow in, palm facing away, fingers down. Left hand comes underneath, grabs hold of the thumb, pulls thumb down and away. Most importantly, spread the other four fingers. And then you can extend the arm out. And release, index finger. Spread the other four. Again, that's the most important part of it. And release, middle finger. And release, ring finger. And release, pinky. Last one. All right, go ahead and release. Shake out the hands. Once again, roll out the wrists. Let the hands rest in your lap and just notice the differences now that you feel. So good. So nice and open. All right, so into the neck now. Nice posture here, so make sure shoulders are away from ears. Imagine you have a grapefruit underneath your chin, so there's some space here. And now drop your right ear down to your right shoulder. And now that shoulder is not coming up to meet the ear, we want it to be pressing away like the ear is chasing after the shoulder. Left hand can reach back and away from that left hip, which you'll feel some more stretch going down through that left shoulder head. And then the right hand can come to the side of the face and gently press a little extra weight on the head. 2 more breath here. Left hand comes to the lap. Right hand to the side of the face, to the right side of the face, and gently help your head come back up to center. Then roll your shoulders. Let's do other side. So shoulders down away from ears. Drop your left ear to left shoulder. Make sure that left shoulder isn't coming up. And the right hand can reach back. And the left hand can come to the side of the face. Right hand back to the lap, left hand to the left side of the face, and gently help the head come back up. Good. Again, rolling shoulders a few times forward and backwards. And then you can drop your chin and roll your ears from side to side. So moving your neck around a bit. All right. Let's get down on our backs. We're going to finish with some spinal twists and then Shavasana pose. So if there are any props that you're going to want for Shavasana, you can take those down with you. I'm going to have a block under my head, and I rolled up a blanket to go underneath my knees, so you can have those as well. Let me move my mic out of the way here. Right, go ahead and lie down on your backs. Your hips can move a little bit to the right side of your mat. And your arms will open out wide like a T shape, palms facing up. Go ahead and bend your knees, bringing them in towards your heart. You can stay here with the knees stacked or cross right over left. And as you exhale, the knees will drop down to the left. Keep your right shoulder pressing down into the mat. Imagine a lot of space between your right rib cage and your right hip. And you can look in whatever direction is comfortable for your neck here. Just make sure that you've got that little grapefruit between your chin and your chest still. One more breath. And slowly return back up to center. Adjust your hips so they're more center on your mat, neutral on your mat, and you can drop the knees together from side to side for some windshield wipers. All right, other side. So hips will move a little bit to the left, knees can bend, arms open. Left knee, if you would like, can cross on top of the right. And as you exhale, knees drop down to the right. So left over right, dropping to the right. Chin away from chest. Left shoulder blade pressing into the mat. One more breath. And slowly returning to center. Unravel the legs. Center the hips and the shoulders on your mat once again. And dropping the knees from side to side. Windshield wipers. All right, so if there is anything else that you would like to do for your own body before dropping into Shavasana pose, you may take the next few breaths to do that. When you're ready, gathering any props that you might like. Again, I'm going to have a blanket underneath my knees and a block under my head. So take up as much space as you would like to here. Opening the legs and the arms. Eyes are closed. And scan through the body and notice if there is anywhere that you are actively holding. Try to soften those spaces, let them go. And especially smooth out any tension across your face. Just allow yourself to drift away. Continue to let your body get heavier and heavier, sinking into the earth. I will let you know when it's time to come up and end class, so please enjoy these last few moments to yourself. If you happen to wander away with any of your thoughts, start to bring yourself back to your body and your breath. Easily start to awaken yourself with little movements through the fingers and the toes. You can turn your head from side to side. On your next inhale, nice and deep, reach the arms overhead, elongation stretch. And as you exhale, soften. Bend your knees, maybe hug them into your heart. And very slowly, sweetly release down to your right side. Keeping your eyes closed if you can, make your way back up to an easy seated pose. Hands will meet prayer in front of the heart, crown lifting you nice and tall. Take a moment to check in and notice what feels different from beginning of class to now. How has your mood changed? Physically, how do you feel? Repeat your intention to yourself and promise to take it with you throughout the rest of your day. And a moment of gratitude here for your body, your breath, and this practice. Bow your brain, sealing everything in. And namaste. Thank you guys so much for joining me on your mat today. I hope you feel good. Thanks for taking time out for you, and I will see you in the next class. Thank you so much.